Hi folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to check out the digital version of Lords of Waterdeep. This is the version that you can find on Steam. The core game is about 15 bucks, and each DLC, there's two of them, is about $5 a piece. So, what is Lords of Waterdeep? Well, it's a worker placement game set in the D&D universe, and what you're going to be doing is you're going to be assigning workers to various spots on the board with the intent on getting adventurers. And with these adventurers, you can complete these quest cards that you get in order to score victory points and some other benefits that the cards may give you. You can also play intrigue cards, which act as like action cards that let you do various things, like you can collect an adventure of a particular color, you can take 4 coins from the bank, you can attack another player and take one of their cubes or their adventurers. So the intrigue cards do different things. You can construct buildings as well, and the nice thing about that is that those buildings give you an extra place to put your workers. If your opponent happens to use them, then you get some type of benefit, whatever the benefit is listed on the building itself. So I'm not going to take you through an entire game of Lords of Waterdeep. Lords of Waterdeep can take between a half an hour to an hour to play, normally on the 45-minute to an hour end, depending on how many people you have playing. So my goal here is just to quickly show you what the digital version has to offer. If you want to learn how to play Lords of Waterdeep, I do have other videos out there. I believe I have a review or possibly a how to play video on my board games playlist. And I think Vinny and I have actually played Lords of Waterdeep once or twice on a Let's Play. So let's go ahead and just show you around the digital version of this. Again, I'm using the Steam version. The settings menu is in the upper right-hand corner. There's a rulebook, card gallery, credits, achievements. You can adjust the animation speed, music volume, sound effects, ambient sound, confirmations, map parallax, and windowed mode. You can also choose what theme you want here by just selecting either Lords of Waterdeep or Scoundrels of Skullport. I did purchase the core game and all of the expansions. They're 30% off right now, so you can get like Lords of Waterdeep on Steam for like $12, and the expansions for like $3 or $4 or something like that. So screen resolution is on the left-hand side, supports all the way up to 3840 by 2160. So in terms of like UI and everything else, this game is beautiful. I've played one game already just to get my feet wet. I did lose, and it was close though. I have to say the easy AI is actually pretty difficult. So for those of you first-timers out there, my advice is play locally against yourself if you want. And that's another thing that's cool about this game. There's a play online section, but there's also a play offline section. And what you can do is you can create profiles. And the profiles that you create will show up on the player selection menu. I'll show you that in a minute. But you can hover over my profile here. I lost one time against the AI. It was like I had 130 some points to his 140 something, so it was very close. Select avatar. You can choose between these different avatars here. You can rename your profile, add profiles, delete them. There's tutorials here, which will come in handy if you happen to buy the expansions and don't know anything about them. I personally have never played any of the expansions. I do have the Scoundrels of Skullport board game expansion, but I've never played it. It adds a whole, I think it's corruption mechanic or something like that. And the other expansion adds some other boards that you can assign your workers to. So let's go ahead and create a game. And here's the Undermountain expansion that I was talking about, the Skullport expansion. And then you can click on this long game down here to add extra agents to the game. Agents are the workers that you can place on the various slots. So as I was explaining earlier, this is your create game section. You can drag your profiles over to the right-hand side, whatever color you want, which is really nice. And you can drag AI over. It's a very slick interface. Really enjoy it. Very simple too. But one thing I do want to see is I want to see the AI on simple nerfed, just so first-time players don't become overwhelmed and don't get frustrated. For the sake of this, I'm just going to create. Let's just do this. I'm going to do. I'll just do test maybe. Confirm. I have to enter name up here. Test. Okay, that way I can show you the game without having... The computer does make their moves fairly quickly, so sometimes it's difficult to follow along. So we're not going to enable any of the expansions, but you can see here what they offer. The Undermountain expansion, additional game board, 3 Undermountain Lords, and 30 quest and 25 intrigue cards. The Skullport expansion, additional game board, 3 Skullport Lords, corruption track, and 30 quest and 25 intrigue cards. So it definitely adds more to the game with these expansions turned on. But you can toggle them on or off as you'd like. So there's 8 rounds in the game, and on the 5th round you get an extra worker to assign to the board. So each person is assigned a lord at the very beginning of the game, and these lords are hidden. They give you special secret bonus points at the end of the game based on what the card calls for. Let me open mine and I'll show you what I mean. So under DGA here, actually I guess we'll click on that. Like we have to finish the setup. Each player is dealt a Lord card, some quest cards, an intrigue card. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, 2 intrigue cards. So 2 quests, 2 intrigues. All right. So round 1, it's Test's turn first. So basically, if you click on the upper left-hand corner here, this is Test's Lord. At the end of the game, you score 4 points for each commerce quest and each skullduggery quest you completed. Net 4 in the gem there is victory points. So every time at the end of the game it adds up how many commerce and skullduggery quests you've completed and gives you 4 points for each. So that's sort of like your hidden objective. And mine, DGA here, oh, that's nice. The game won't actually let you click on other people when it's your turn, which is kind of nice. So this is the game board in a nutshell. If you had the expansions enabled, there'd be more here. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to drag your workers onto these various spaces. Cliffwatch Inn is where you can choose quests. This one gives you 2 coins and a quest. This one gives you a quest and an intrigue card. And then this third one is, it resets the quests, then you draw 1. And you can see on the very top of the quest what it needs. Like here's Arcana. So if you get points for completing Arcana quests, then you want to grab these as much as possible and try and complete them. And these are the adventures that I was talking about, these cubes. You're going to be collecting cubes of various colors. They represent like warriors and mages and different things like that. And if you have enough, you can turn them in and you'll get the reward listed on the bottom. Some are plot quests, in which case they take effect for the rest of the game and give you some type of benefit. Like one might be, for every time you complete an Arcana quest, you score an additional 2 points or something like that. You've got your other spaces. Again, I don't want to go too deeply into the rules, but I want to give you a brief overview. There's the Builder's Hall down here. And just to show you what the Builder's Hall looks like and how it's represented on the board, let's say that I drag my work over here. I pick a building. It costs, say, 4 to build this one. And your money and stuff is on the left-hand side. It's called your tavern. When purchased, start of the round, place 4 coins on this space. Take all coins from this space when you assign a worker to it. And this is what I was talking about earlier. If someone else decides to use this building, the owner of the building gets 2 coins as compensation. Now, the little red victory points down here is, right now it's a 1. But if that building sits there from round to round to round, it'll get increased amount of victory points. I think it's 1 per round. And that sort of encourages players to pick up buildings that haven't been purchased in a while because it'll be worth more victory points to pick it up. So again, I don't want to go through a full game here. It takes fairly long to get through, but I wanted to show you the digital version. I'm just going to go through a few turns. So let's just say he decides to build this. It's 4 coins. And like I said, the animation is really nice here. All right, so that ends that turn. And there's a little play button down here in case you want us to continue, or if you want to go back, there's a little red button in the bottom left sometimes. But basically, you can lock in your choices with this play button on the bottom. So now it's my turn, DGA. So at the start of each round, place 4 coins on that space, which is what just happened here. All right, I will, let's just say I wanted... What's my lord, first off? At the end of the game, you score 6 points for each building you control. So this character, this lord, wants buildings. So I'm going to go and build as many buildings as I can to score those victory points at the end. And that'll give me more spaces for me and my opponent to place their workers on. Because again, around round 5, you're going to get an extra worker. So the board is going to fill up rather quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and build, say... Okay, I can't build anything, unfortunately. Only one worker can be assigned to the Builder's Hall each round, which is unfortunate. So I want to try and get the Builder's Hall right out of the gate. Because the test player went first, I may want to grab Castle Waterdeep. Yes, basically take the first player marker and draw. So on the next round, I will go first. That way I'm always assuredly to get the building. So as long as I have the first player marker. What kind of quests do I have? You click on quests on the left-hand side here, and you can zoom in on them. Convert a Noble Lathander, which it's a piety quest and Arcana. Now, I don't care about what quests I complete. This lore doesn't care. I just want buildings. I mean, I'll still get rewards, but I'm not going to get extra points at the end for completing them. So that's something I'll have to take into consideration. I may want to take less quests and build more structures. Let's see. I could do... I need 4 coin for this. I've got 5. I need 2 purple, 1 black, 1 orange. Alright, let's just grab 2 orange. 1 for this quest, 1 for that quest. And again, there's a red button on the bottom left in case you want to go back. It undoes your turn, which is kind of nice. Alright. With pass and play, I'm assuming your opponents are supposed to look away from the board so that they can't see how much you have or what quests you have. Well, I think that's public knowledge. I think it's the intrigue cards that you're not allowed to see. I guess this player will take some black cubes here. Alright, now it's DGA's turn, which is my turn. I'm going to go ahead and take this white cube here. And let's say Tess decides to take a purple, because he needs some purple. And I'll go. I think you get the idea. And I gotta say, the UI is so slick and works so well here. I'm really pleased by the digital version of this. I haven't played it on mobile, but the Steam version is really good. I'm really happy with it. Let's take this first player marker and an intrigue card. Actually, what I could do is whenever you play a worker to Waterdeep Harbor, at the end of the round, you actually take those workers back and go somewhere else. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll be able to play an intrigue card here. I can take a purple from the supply and place them in your tavern. Each opponent can choose to give you a purple once to score 5 points, and that's something that that you're taking the risk. And, do you want to give your opponent a possible 5 victory points? But if you do, then you'll get an extra purple one. The question is, do I need purple right now? If I go to quests, I do. I have 2 purple here that I need, so it would behoove me to do that. Play. So I get 1 purple from the supply, and now my opponent gets to choose. Okay, is he going to give me 5? Is he going to give me a purple cube for 5 victory points, or is he going to click on this X and stop it? So this is sort of like a choice that you're going to click on. Let's say he decides to give me a purple. I don't know if he has a purple. I think he does. Yeah. Alright, so I went ahead and accepted that. Now I've got 2 purple here. Let's take another look at my... Actually, that ends my turn. Test's turn. And we've got one more... Each got 1 more worker to put down. He's going to throw down this one and get some coin, because he's out. He did buy that building at the beginning there. And... I like how the game repeats the action when you're playing locally. That way, when someone's looking away from the computer screen and it's their turn, they can quickly see an overview or a recap of what the other players did, which is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and play... I'm going to go ahead and play Castle Waterdeep. I'll get an intrigue card and the first player marker. Okay. That way, okay, now my worker came back from Waterdeep Harbor. So, I can't play on Waterdeep Harbor again and keep doing that, but I can play it somewhere else. So I can take another one of these quests. How about I play that there, I can take a quest and 2 coin. How about, let's take a look at my existing quests. Right now, I don't have a whole lot of cubes, so this one is worth 20 points if I completed this skullduggery quest. Let's go ahead and take that one. It's a lot. It's a lot of cubes, but it's 20 points and 2 coin. All right. And that ends the first round, and now we move on to the second one. And because now I am first player, I get to go first, and because I am the Builder Lord, I want to make use of this Builder's Hall before my opponent can. So this one is, it costs 4 to build. Take the Ambassador. At the start of the next round, you assign the Ambassador. So basically, it's a free worker, which is awesome. I think I will take that. Yeah, let's build it. But I have to put a worker on top of it, I think. That ends my turn. And then the House of Wonder is just drawn. Now you'll notice that this yawning portal here has 2 on it. That's because it was there from the previous turn and accumulated another victory point. Again, it's recapping everything from the previous round. In this case, it was from round 1 for my opponent. And it's showing me that I completed that in addition to getting a worker back from Waterdeep Harbor. So again, it's replaying stuff for player 2, which is nice. Alright, so now he's going to pick something. Let's say he decides to, I don't know, take... He's got no orange. Let's say he decides to take some orange. And now I'll place this over here. Now, if my... Actually, I'll not do this. I'll let my opponent do this, and I'll show you... actually, there's 8 coin on this space. Let me show you that right now. I'm going to place my worker on this space, but this belongs to my opponent. I'll get 8 coins for taking this, but I have to pay the owner of the building 2. In this case, my opponent. And just to show you that again... Yeah, it's recapping everything. Now, he's going to place a worker on my building to get the Ambassador for next turn, but I'm going to get 2 victory points because DGA is the owner here. There we go. So, yeah, this is going to continue. Again, there's 8 rounds, and at the end of the game, you get victory points for leftover adventures you have, coins that you have, and any hidden points that you might get from your Lord here. And then whoever has the most victory points wins. Really great adaptation of the board game, I gotta say. If you guys do want to see a full game of this in digital format, let me know. Also, I think you can come back to this. If I go back to the game lobby, I think it saves it. Yeah, here it is, round 2. So it actually saves your progress as you're playing, and you can come back to it later, which is another awesome thing about this game. So yeah, if you do want to see another full playthrough, let me know. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to my channel, and check out my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.